Hello, happy June. Today is an exciting day because not only is it coffee chat day, but today we got the piano. This is the piano that was at my church and they've been like redoing the stage and kind of remodeling. And so it is now here at my house. And it was a whole process this morning. Y'all, piano moving is like the most stressful thing to watch. Thankfully, I didn't have to like help. But watching people try to move the piano, super stressful. I was like, oh my gosh, what if it falls? What if it leans over and tips over? And like, I was freaking out. But very excited for the piano. It's very sentimental to me. It was played at our wedding. So I'm really excited for all of that. And now the fact that I have a real piano to actually practice. I need to actually practice. Anyway, the reason you're here, hello, welcome to the coffee chat. It is June, and in this coffee chat, we're gonna talk about motivation, or what to do when you have a lack thereof. I'm gonna finally share the secret that I've been keeping, which is not as big of a deal for any of you as it is for me, but it's exciting for me, and so I wanted to share, and there will be more news to come along with that. And I had some other things, but they're on a list over there, and so I'm gonna have to go and find them after I make my coffee, or my second cup of coffee. I didn't have a coffee this morning though. I got these two cups and they're color changing. So the blue is the cold and it's just so cool. And so there's like 5 of them in the pack, and so I have like a yellow one and like a purple one, and they're really fun because when you pull them out, they're just like clear, and so you don't know what color it is until you put something in them. This is the remnants of my iced coffee. I'm gonna go make a rest of my iced coffee, and then we'll sit down and have a chit chat. Let's do it. All right, that is brewing, but look what just came in the mail for me today. Aren't these like the most amazing earrings ever? I am obsessed. I love that they're navy. I've been really obsessed with the wicker recently, so I'm here for that. That pink actually matched my lipstick like perfectly. These are gonna be so stinking cute, so cute. And then I got the matching like bracelet set as well. So these are not attached, but they all like go together, which is fun because then you can like pull them out and mix and match with other ones. I'm just so cute, so cute. Not related to anything, but I'll link them below. All right, let's get some ice. Ice for the Nyla. I'll come over here so people can see you and your tricks. Sit. Well, they can't see you. Can you shake? No, that's like. We have ice tags here. Okay, we have ice. We have coffee. We have nice cold foam. I've just been using the straw to get it out so I'm not getting anything else dirty. And then pop it in. And there we go. Nice little vanilla latte going on here. Alrighty, here we are. Here's Talia. Talia's had quite a day. She went to the vet this morning, which was traumatic for both of them because she had to go, and then Nyla had to be here by herself, and then came back, and then I left to go load the piano. I didn't help, but just, you know, supervise, and then came back, and the piano movers were bringing the stuff in, so I had to like leave them both outside. I mean, they had water and it's cloudy and like they were fine, but it just was quite the day. So she's gonna hang out here and we're gonna chat. So June is exciting because June is officially summer, at least for me. Hopefully y'all also have summer. I know some of you are still going for a few more weeks, so I'll be praying for all of you. We, however, are officially on summer break. Actually, a week ago today was last day for teachers. I cannot believe that was a week ago. It feels already like it's been a really long time for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but that's kind of where we are. As far as May went, May was kind of like meh. My sales this May were better than sales last May, but as predicted, sales have gone down each month basically since February for me, and that's typical and normal, and I expect that, but it's still kind of like okay. I did relaunch my course, so my music teacher course I launched in March, closed it once I had the first like set of people in, got all the content out, and then I just relaunched it last week, so that it's now open. People can purchase it whenever, and I did have a sale to accompany that relaunch, which was a great decision because that went quite well, and so those kind of things are really great because they can balance out months where TBT isn't as good. And that's one of my reasons that I'm really into multiple streams of income, is if I have a month where TBT is not that great, then maybe I can, you know, launch a course or run a sale on a course, or maybe I can you know, launch a new product, or maybe I can work on affiliate marketing, or like there's other things that I can kind of do to adjust that a little bit and kind of cushion the blow. Nothing beats TBT for me. Actually, my courses are getting kind of close, but for the most part, nothing beats TBT, especially in like study revenue. But having other things to kind of cushion the months that are a little bit slower are good. So especially going into June and July, I've put a lot of thought into like, okay, what are things that I can do in order to make sure that I'm bringing in some income, because we are now using my TBT income for bills, for mortgage, for all that kind of stuff, and not my teaching income, which is a switch we made back in like October. So this is our first summer trying that, so I'm like stressing a little bit about it, which I still have my teaching income, so like it's fine if, you know, we need to adjust, but just trying to be really strategic about that and think about that as my primary source of income has been really interesting. The May sale did very well though. I was really appreciated that. I wasn't sure what to expect because last year it didn't do so well, but last year we had a sale in April and a sale in May, and I think they were just too close. And so this year, having the one sale in like March and then the one in May, they were far enough away that they did pretty well. I also didn't promote the March one because it was right when I was promoting my course, so the May sale ended up being much better for me and worked out pretty well. So those are kind of like my May updates. One thing that I told you I was going to start sharing is how many books I have read though. And so last month I was like, yeah, let's talk, because I just always am looking for ways to talk about books really. And so I've been looking for more ways that we can talk about books, and I have some thoughts and some ideas. I just need the time to put them in action. But let me open up my thing. So last month I was like, let's talk about books, and then I was like, oh, I read like 2. In May I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. Now to be fair, to be fair, the way I count them is whatever month they finish them in. So even if I finish them on May 1st, but I really read them in April, I still count it as a May book, just because you gotta draw the line somewhere. But yeah, it was a lot. So book-wise, things that I finished, some on my Kindle, some in real life. On my Kindle, I read a book. Oh, I guess I should look. Let's give you the real titles and not fake titles. Let's see. I read University of Berkshire Hathaway. So this is a compilation of notes about 20 years, 30 years, quite a few years of Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's businesses, yearly meetings. So that one was really interesting. They talk a lot about like how to invest and how like to approach investing and all of those kind of things. So those have been actually really interesting if you're interested into that. And educational, of course. I've been working on that book for about 2 months. So just be aware. Some books are read in 2 days, some books are read in 2 months. The next one I read in the nonfiction category is this one called Fix This Next by Michael Michalowicz. This is the guy who wrote Profit First, which is a book I'm obsessed with. I've read it like 3 times. And so this is about figuring out how to have a really sustainable business and thinking about it like from the ground up. He talks a lot about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which our teachers are very familiar with. And so talking about like basically the same thing but for your business and how to figure out what needs help in your business. So that was number 2. Number 3, I forgot to bring down here, I think it's upstairs, and that is the book called This Is Marketing by Seth Godin. That one wasn't my favorite book to read. It had really good points, but it was very succinct. So like the reading situation was not super pleasurable. It was not my favorite, but it had really good points about marketing, specifically about like connecting with your customers and all that kind of stuff. Out of those, I would definitely say that this would be the one I recommend. This one was really easy to read, and you don't have to read the whole thing because you don't have to fix everything in your business at the same time. So there were some parts that I ended up skipping over because I was like, I'm not there, or I may not ever be there because that may not be the kind of business that I want. And so just, you know, be aware of those things. My probably favorite of the nonfiction category though is this one that I just finished yesterday called Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. This book is so good. It's a productivity book about how to use digital notes to free up space in your brain so that you can actually think of things and remember things. And so I haven't implemented the system yet. I read the whole book, and so this week I've been trying to like figure out which notes app I want to use and kind of like get my things like inching towards getting my whole self scheduled. So that one, super good. Highly recommend that one. In the nonfiction category, I read quite a bit. I'm just gonna show you the little tiny pictures here on my iPad. This is the one I just finished called The Titanic Sisters. I would not recommend it. It wasn't that great. I mean, I read the whole thing. This one, The Dance Teacher of Paris, was really good. It had such a good storyline that kept you guessing all the way until the end. I did not anticipate what was going to happen at the end. Really good. It's about a dance teacher in Paris during World War II who helps save some little Jewish kids, and all that's on the cover, so I'm not spoiling anything. But really good. Highly recommend. The writing wasn't like super amazing, but the book was really good. I also read this one, Her Hidden Genius. This one was really interesting. This book is about Rosalind Franklin, who was a scientist back also World War II-ish time. And she did a lot of work on DNA and was really instrumental in figuring out like DNA and all of that kind of stuff. And then my last one, oh, I might have lied, it might have been mine. The next one I just finished yesterday also, and that is The Cuban Heiress by Chanel Cleeton. If you've been around for a while, you know that I really like Chanel Cleeton. I discovered her maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and she's had a new book out every year since I've discovered her, and I have them all and they are amazing. I love them all. I'm rereading one of her other books right now. I've read them all multiple times. This was this year's. I actually pre-ordered it on Amazon. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a book. Pre-ordered this one. It was so good. It was so good. The ending shocked me. I read the whole thing in 2 days. Like, I mean, so good. So good. Historical fiction. This one kind of has the essence of like, there's an assassination attempt and everything's like, there's a lot of mystery in this one, and it's really good. Highly recommend. Now, I actually have one more that's kind of a book and kind of not really a book, but it's a workbook, and that is The Dream Life Blueprint by Angie Belmar. Y'all know how I feel about Angie Belmar. And it's a workbook, so it's like half book, half writing. It is so good though. If you really need help on like getting clarity on your goals and getting just like clarity and figuring out things, I would recommend that one. I'm pretty good about goal setting, but I found a lot of it really helpful. She goes a lot into like figuring out like who you are and how you tick. And that was really helpful to me to figure out like some shifts that I could make in my schedule to really help boost productivity, but also make me feel a lot better and feel less overwhelmed and all of that kind of stuff. So really highly recommend. And if you need help with your goals, definitely check that one out. And I will link all of those down below. Sorry to talk about that for the first 10 minutes. I didn't really mean to do that. Because what I really needed to tell you is the big announcement in this one. Yes, I just made you wait until now. And that is that I got a new job. So I'm still teaching music, but I am transferring to a different school in my district, which, you know, on the outside it seems like not a big deal because it's like, oh, you're still teaching music, you're still teaching full-time, you're still in the same district, like same grade level, everything. But I am so excited for my new school. I've been at my old school for 6 years now, and I have loved it, and I love the kids. It was very, very painful saying goodbye to all of them and telling them that I was leaving and I wasn't gonna be their music teacher anymore. Like, I mean, I basically just cried for like the last 3 weeks of school straight. There were a couple classes in particular that, like, yeah, the one, like, I was crying and they were crying, and it was just like a whole thing. And then every time they saw me after this, they were like, Miss Davis, you haven't left yet, because they don't understand time. And so even though I told them I'll be here until the end of the school year, they didn't understand. But so it's been sad. I had to pack up my whole classroom. I have way more stuff than I thought I did, and I'm moving to a new school. And I've been sad, but I am so excited for my new school. I cannot wait. Like, I'm actually kind of excited for the coming school year, which is unheard of for the first week of summer. I am really pumped. The team that I'm gonna be with seems really nice. Everyone is super nice. I went last week to their like end of the year celebration. It was like cupcakes in the cafeteria, but they invited me to come, and so they like introduced me to everyone, and everyone was so nice and like warm and welcoming, which was something I was very scared of because I am very not good at talking to people. And so that was something I had concerns about, but I was really just felt really good about the whole situation. It feels like a really, really good fit. I was offered another job and I've taken a few other interviews, but this school in particular, like, I think is gonna be a really good spot for me. And so I'm really excited. I'm hoping it will be a little bit less stressful. So that I'm a little bit less tired. It's still teaching, it's still full-time and all that, but just, it's hard to explain without going into like details about Savannah school stuff. But I'm thinking that this is gonna be a little bit less of a stressful environment for me. And so I'm hoping that that will lead to me being less exhausted and more in love with it, because this year was a struggle. This year was really great, and this year was also a big, huge struggle. So we'll see how it goes. I have high hopes, and I'm excited, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be a good fit and that I will want to stay for many years, but we'll see what happens. So that has been really stressful to me. I decided, I had kind of been thinking about leaving my now former school, and it was the second week of school that something happened, and I said, yep, this is the year that I leave. And so I decided, literally the second week of school. And so I, all year long, had that in the back of my mind, which as a person who really likes to have a plan and know what's going on, was really stressful, because I'm like, where am I gonna be? I don't know what I'm gonna do. What's gonna happen? What if no jobs come open? What if I don't want the jobs to come open? What if nobody wants me? Like, you know, all of those things. And especially like once January hit, it got really bad with like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I did have 2 interviews. They were spread out. The second one was the one that I ended up taking, and that one I had to wait like almost a month for it, and it felt like the longest month of my life, and it just like everything was just very unsettled. And so once I got that sorted, I felt so much better. And then the next day the school caught on fire, and so we were unsettled again, but we're on the other side now. Everything's packed up. My principal announced it to my school. Their principal announced it to their school. So I'm feeling really good about it. I think it's gonna be a really good fit. Just like from what I've heard about the school, I've heard good things. And so fingers crossed it ends up working out and being a really good situation. So, I mean, it'd be hard to be a worse situation. But there we go. I will have a video more talking in depth about that decision, why I chose that, and all of those things. It was not a decision I took lightly. It was not something that I chose quickly. It was something I thought a lot about. And yes, I thought about quitting. Yes, I thought about looking for a part-time job. But in the end, I was just trying to be really open to whatever was gonna happen. Because as a Christian, and especially like, you know, a Pentecostal kind of Christian, I very much am like, God put me where you want me to go. And this very much was like this is where God wanted me to go. There were lots of things that happened to make me be like, yep, this is correct. And so, we're just gonna see how this goes. And you know, if it hadn't worked out, then I would have pursued maybe another option, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. My workout room is covered in stuff. I have so much stuff. But there we go. So we can talk, you're the first to know, internet wise, although I did share it with my Becca's Music Room Instagram story people because I needed help with packing up and I had questions. But you're the first to officially know. And again, there will be a video talking more about like basically why I chose to continue teaching full time, because I know everyone's gonna be like, you're not just gonna quit, like you make plenty of money. Well, you know, it's not all about the money. The money is nice, but it's not all about the money. And so we'll discuss that later. One thing I did want to discuss though today is about motivation, specifically because I have had none at all. Like, it's been really bad. And I thought it was just end of the year craziness. And then it was last week of school. And then now it's the first week of summer. And I'm still like, I haven't even opened my laptop this week, which is bad. Like, I know that like there's an email I have to send this week. And I know that I have to get my presentation for the Teacher Sellers Summit, which is a all online Teacher Seller Summit, talking all about like your business and having a well-rounded business and all that. That's due this week because it's in about a month, and I'll link that down below if you are interested. I'm talking about what to do to your TPT like listings to make sure that you have your first line of defense situated so that you can, you know, really use that to help with conversions. But other people are talking about more, I'm thinking about it like more whole business approach than like the TPT conference, which is more like TPT. This is more like we're talking about email lists, and we're talking about podcasts, and we're talking about having webinars, and like a lot of like more broadening your horizons. I'm really excited about it. There's a lot of sessions I am looking forward to, and I would highly recommend it. So I will leave that linked down below in case you are interested in that. I need to get that filmed. I need to get it written also. But still, this is really freaking me out because it makes it look like my drink is blue, but like it's coffee. It's not blue, I promise. So motivation. I was not feeling any motivation. I'm not gonna lie. I just have it, and I was sitting there like, I don't want to film any videos and I don't want to do any of this stuff. So how do you actually get yourself off the couch to make that happen? Now, motivation is a whole huge subject. Actually, I filmed a video. I guess I didn't post it yet. I filmed a video about motivation, but I always think in terms of there's like long-term motivation, which is like, you know, doing things over time, and then there's short-term motivation, like I need to film a video right now and I really don't want to do it. And those are kind of different things, like getting yourself started, like having that long-term stuff versus I need to do this right now and I don't feel like it. So we're talking about short-term motivation. I don't want to do this, but I need to. Couple thoughts. One is think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The bottom one, make sure that you have eaten and you've had water and like your basic needs are met, because I'm not gonna lie, I ate lunch and I feel like a whole different human after I ate lunch. Like I think maybe my blood sugar was really low. I've been doing really difficult workouts this week, so that could have something to do with it. But just like I was feeling like super low energy, ate some food, now I have energy. Imagine that. Make sure you've had some water, because if you're dehydrated, you're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna be energized. Make sure you've had coffee, because that definitely belongs in the bottom rung of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, it's just a thing. So that's number one. It's just like assess your basic needs and make sure that you're not sleepy. You're not like, those are not your issues, because those are all issues you can solve, you know, with, you know, I'm hungry, eat food, now you're solved. Then after that, think about the minimum viable product. So for example, I have a whole list of videos that I need to film, but the minimum viable product is this one, because this video has to go out today. So if I don't finish this video, then it doesn't go out today and then it's late. And I don't like to be late. So the other videos don't have to get done today. I should do them today, but I don't have to. And the reason this is important is because if you know what you actually have to do and not just what you would like to do, it can cut down on the overwhelm. So you're not as overwhelmed with like starting and being like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I need to do. But instead you're like, okay, this is what I have to do versus these are things I would like to do. So cutting down on the overwhelm is huge, and then getting clarity, and then also being like, you know what? If I do, this is kind of number 3. If I do my minimum viable product and I still am not feeling it, then I can let myself off the hook. And that's a little tactic I like to employ. Oh, now we're gonna have 2 dogs. Hello. Now what you gonna do? That's a tactic I like to employ, which is like either a time limit or a or an activity that needs to be done, wherein when that one thing is done or that time limit has been reached, I let myself off the hook. So when I finish this video, if I'm still like, blah, I don't want to film anything, I can turn off the camera, I can go sit outside, and I can be done. Sometimes I do it with time, so I'll say, okay, if after 15 minutes I still don't feel like doing this, I can let myself off of the hook, and then I don't have to do it. She's about to fall off this couch. And I can just, you know, continue on with my life. That's really powerful because a lot of times once you get started with something, you won't mind it nearly as much. So once you film one video that it's like, yeah, we can film some more. It's not a big deal. Once you've gotten 15 minutes in, then you're kind of on a roll. And so then you're like, yeah, we can continue. It's fine. So it kind of tricks your brain into being like, okay, this is all I have to do, when in reality, you're probably going to do more. The important thing though with this is that if you use this tactic, make sure that you actually do let yourself off the hook if you then decide that you don't want to do the thing, okay? Otherwise, you're lying to yourself, and you'll know that you're lying to yourself, and then you won't want to listen to yourself the next time. And number 3 is just remember that 90% of the time, things seem worse than they are. Most of the time, they're not nearly as bad as you think they are, and they just feel monumental, but they're not. And so if you can start doing them, it usually is not nearly as bad as you think it's gonna be, and it usually doesn't take as long as you think it's gonna be. It's not as hard as you think it's gonna be. So if you just get started, it's gonna feel better. I like to think, what is the easiest thing I can do? Especially when I'm feeling overwhelmed. What is the easiest thing I can do? You know, people always talk about eat the frog, which is like do the hardest thing first. No, we're doing the easiest thing first, because once you do that, then you can get on a roll and be like, oh, okay, this isn't nearly as bad. And the last thing is one that people get mad at me for, because, you know, in this new really messed up self-care world, you should read my book on self-care because it has a very different approach than most people's. And that is just do it. In the end, this is what I tell myself. Becca, it does not matter how you feel about it. The video has to get done. So you're gonna go and do it. The end. Yeah. Maybe it's not the nicest thing to tell myself, and maybe it's not the kindest thing to tell you. However, sometimes you just need to get your butt in gear, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it. Okay? Okay, because you're not a child, you're an adult, and adults have to do things they don't want to. Kids also have to do things that they don't want to do, but you just gotta do it. Just go. And I know that sounds like the meanest advice I can give you. It's both the best and the worst thing I can tell you, because if you can just like get over yourself and make things happen, that's when you're actually gonna see the results. Okay. Next up, as you're thinking about all the things that you need to get your butt in gear and make sure you do, is while you're thinking about that, think about all the things you want to accomplish over the summer. Specifically, use the summers to make your school life easier. In the past, I used to use the summer to like do projects and work on courses and work on books and like do like these really big things that, you know, really helped, or maybe do like a product line and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, I have realized the value of using the summer to get ahead on the school year. So instead of, oh, let me do a course over the summer, oh, let me do this big project over the summer, what I'm doing right now is working on content. Really is the big thing. Content and updates. So having blog posts batched, having videos batched, and then having like updating my products and doing those kind of things that I just never want to do during the school year. Getting those things done is like priority number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I am like above everything else. I want videos and I want blog posts to just be ready to go so that when we get to the fall, I'm not stressed about that, especially as I go to a new school and have to like navigate all of that newness. The last thing I want to be worried about is, oh no, I need to go film a video. Oh no, I need to write a blog post, like any of that kind of stuff. So I am using the summer to batch videos and blog posts. I did this last year and it like changed my entire life, and I'm a believer now. So last year what I did was for each of my channels, well, for my 2 channels, for my music room and for the TPT one, I would film and edit 2 videos, and then I would only post 1 each week. And so that helped me get ahead to about October is where I was. I had a lot of videos for my Becca's Music Room one, like way long after that actually. I had some like already done that were for like April. So having those, so I'm gonna be doing that again. I'm gonna try to do 3 videos for each one, which might be a lot, but we'll see. I'm toying with the idea of actually going to 2 videos a month on the other channel instead of 4 videos a month. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do that. I kind of wanted to see how many videos I could get batched over the summer to decide, and also how many ideas I have over the summer, because those have been my 2 biggest things, is running out of ideas to talk about TPT, and then just feel like it's always the last thing that I need to get done. So I'm toying with that idea. We're gonna see how many ideas I can come up with and also how many videos I can batch. So if you have ideas for things you want to see TPT wise, let me know those down below. The problem I keep running into is when I ask for suggestions, people will give me suggestions and I'm like, oh, I have a video about that. I already have a video about that. I already have a video about that. And so it's like not helpful at all. But that is, you know, so if you have suggestions, do let me know, but I might already have a video about it also because I have a lot. And then blogging wise, I am going to just batch them like I did last year, just write like 2-ish a day and then get them all scheduled out, and then we'll be way ahead on everything. I didn't have to write a single blog post all year, and it was the biggest gift ever. So those things were really, really helpful last year, and so that's why that's priority number 1 for me this year, is making sure that's done. Especially going into a new school, I wanted to make sure like I didn't have to think about any of those, and because those are the things that make my business run. I have the products, as you know, I have a lot of products, and so I don't necessarily have to like be putting out a bunch of products. If you have, you know, 5 products, then your main focus and what's making your business run is going to be putting out products. But I have that kind of settled, and so what makes my business run these days is content, making sure that content is available, making sure it's consistent so you can count on it coming out, making sure that I'm, you know, giving helpful advice, and making sure that content is driving back to my products so that I'm then, you know, using that to make money or driving to my email list. But content and then my email list are really the things that make my business run these days. And so that is priority number 1 for me over the summer, is getting those things done, which is why I need to film all these videos. Even if I don't really want to. But you know what? We just gotta make it happen. Also, just FYI, if you're wanting to be doing some blogging on your business, the blogging course is going to be on sale very soon. I don't have a date yet, but in the next couple weeks. So make sure that you follow on Instagram and on the email list so that you will know when that happens, because my sales are very short and they rarely happen. So if you are wanting the blogging course, it's gonna be on sale very soon. Keep your eyes peeled because it will be short and it will not be on sale again for a really long time. Someone like 3 months ago was like, are you gonna put your stuff on sale for your birthday? And I was like, well, yes, but my birthday is in October, so it'll be a while. Don't do too many sales, because if you do too many sales, it loses its fun, and then people don't trust you, like me and J. Crew. I love J. Crew. My shorts and my headband are from J. Crew. I just placed a huge J. Crew order, but they try to tell me they have sales every day, and I'm like, no. That's not a thing. So I don't trust them. So we're not doing that. So it will be on sale. It will be for a very short amount of time. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And I think that's all that I had for today. I'd love to know what you're focusing on for this summer and what is going on in your life and all that good stuff. I think I'm gonna try to film another video. We'll focus on one at a time and that might help. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.